Hello, and welcome to the Learning from Practice podcast from the Center for Peacemaking Practice at George Mason University's School for Conflict Analysis and Resolution. This podcast is created for the purpose of sharing stories of peacemaking practice and practitioners from around the world. I'm Jackie Greif, the Executive Director of the Center for Peacemaking Practice, and I thank you for listening.
Just breathe in. And when you breathe in, we're going to breathe in health, peace, happiness, well-being, harmony. And when we breathe out, we will breathe worries, tiredness, and all the things that we don't want in our head or in our bodies.
That's the voice of Maria Elena Lopez Vinader.
Maria Elena Lopez Vinader.
She's speaking to an auditorium full of peace researchers at the semi-annual International Peace Research Association conference.
In our head or in our bodies. And we're going to allow ourselves to connect with this rhythm of our hearts, which you can actually see if you can find it in the pulse of your hand, on your chest. And I'm going to play this sound with this bell that was made with material of World War II. And it has the shape of a Buddha, and it has the heart in the head. And this is we as humanity, as a human family, we need to connect if we're going to make any progress. Connect our mind, our beautiful mind, our beautiful intelligence, our musical intelligence with our heart so that we can achieve peace in the world and life, of course. So please allow yourself to be surrounded with this sound, with this peace bell.
Maria Elena agreed to sit down with me later on during this conference and to tell me a bit about herself and her work.
Yes, I started with my professor at NYU, Edith Boxing, who already passed away, and other music therapists. We started in 1988, more like a movement than organization. It's more like a movement called Music Therapists for Peace. Now I kind of changed the name. I like to call Music Therapies for Peace and Life, or actually Music Therapy for a Peaceful Life. Because people have some ideas about peace. They think it's too much in the air, and they think also only as the absence of war. And I see peace as a promotion of human beings, as Galton would say, and as really developing the full potentiality that each one of us has to have a peaceful, healthy life. So I am from Argentina, and although I studied in the United States and I lived a total of 13 years in the United States, I live now in Argentina for the last, I don't know, well, I was in New York when the Twin Towers collapsed. And I studied there at Columbia University, and there I met some people in the peace education movement. And then I went back in 2002, at the end of 2002, and in the beginning of 2003, when the Iraq war was going to start, I felt very frustrated about it, and I said, well, what would be a way that I can reach many people, and even though I may not stop the war, I still had a little, hope that somehow, we would stop the war. I mean, people in the war. And I had the opportunity to, because I know many people in where I live in Posadas, which is the capital of Misiones. It's all the way in the north of Argentina. I spoke to someone who was on the radio, and who had a radio program, And I said, what do you think about doing a radio program that is about creating a culture of peace and giving good news? Because bad news, you can listen to any radio program. So what about giving good news and at the same time creating awareness that war is not good for us and so on? So he said yes. So we started together, and then he couldn't continue, and I continue, and I'm very stubborn. So this is my 10th year.
Wow.
In this program, and at the beginning it was called Imagine, Peace is Possible, and of course has the cartoon of Imagine of John Lennon. Mm-hmm. That's my cartoon.
Maria Elena has continued her radio program, sharing good news with the hopes of encouraging cultures of peace, with one name change 2 years ago.
And I also changed the name a little bit, but still the spirit is the same, which is Imagine a Better World is Possible. Because actually I do think that each one of us can make a better world, whatever you are. And, and when we don't know when this peace in the whole world is going to come, but we know that we can start with our own peace inside ourselves, and then with whatever we live, to create a harmonious relationship, to enjoy your own life, and so on.
And you do this through music?
And I do this. I use music, yes. Music therapy on one hand, and on the other hand, I do this radio program.
She uses her radio program and her work through music therapy to promote her belief that a better world is possible, that by building a culture of peace through the small moments of connection between individuals and societies, we are slowly moving towards this goal.
Actually, like in medicine, the ideal medicine is prevention, not healing. Of course, you have to heal if there is a sickness, but the ideal is to prevent, to have healthy habits so that we do not get sick. And the same happens with society or communities. If I feel, for instance, if everybody would learn an instrument, or sing, or know, be able to express musically. I'm not saying to study music, not even to read music, but to experience our musical intelligence, our musical ability, our music creativity, and other forms of art, dance, painting, theater, but music has to be there for me. Mm-hmm. It's not that I'm fanatic, but I know enough to say that, because I have more than 25 years of experience as a music therapist, and I work with autistic children, and I work or adults, and I work with blind people for many years. That's where I did my training. And so I think that if we learn that, then we can create healthy communities, and that can be created. And not we are now like firemen always, trying to stop the fire, and we change our paradigm of thinking that and I feel very strong about this. This is one of my passions because. There are still, unfortunately, there are still people who think that war is inevitable, and I think that's not true. I think that we can avoid war because we have enough intelligence, and we have enough brain capacity. Because if we were able to go to the moon, it's because we have enough brain capacity to do so, and if we were able to do this tremendous, atomic bomb, is because we have enough brain capacity, and there's no doubt about that. However, when we disconnect this brain capacity with goodness for everyone, and we disconnect that from the right to life, right to live of every single human being, and each life is exactly the same, has the same value. Your life has the same value as my life and as anybody else. Doesn't matter how much money you may have, or whether you studied or you're not. We have absolutely the same right, just because we were born here. Yes, we are all inhabitants of this planet, and we have a right to live, and we have a right to choose the way we want to live, as long as we don't hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And if we hurt someone, when they, we have to. That person. I mean, that's the only thing we cannot do. Now you can choose to live in one way. You can choose to have a different kind of meals and so on, but we cannot take away the life of anyone. So for me, to have weapons, to invest in that, instead of using that money that is being invested in destruction, to invest it in construction, in creativity, we could have a much, much, much better world. Of course there will be conflicts, but we are learning to solve them. I mean, it's not a question that, we live in a lullaby. No, which is nice for children and for us too, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. So how does music influence people or affect people?
Well, music is a reflection of life. So music can influence you in a positive way or in a negative way. Music has so much power that can go both ways. And it's like life. You can flourish, make your life flourish, or you can be miserable. Mm-hmm. And all depends on how you use it. So we music therapists try to use music in using the power of music to heal people. But music has many components. So even the most beautiful music, if you put it in a volume that is hurting your ears, it's not going to be good. I mean, you can play the Ninth Symphony of Beethoven or any kind of classical music or whatever, but if it's too loud, we have to learn to be quiet. And that's, I'm saying, literally and metaphorically. I think we need to quiet down, in order to reach the deepest part of ourselves. And we cannot reach in noise, in too much noise, and we need to learn to be with ourselves, so that we can connect with that part, with that deep music that is the same and is different perhaps for each one of us. But that's the music that connects us, which is the music of our humanness. Mm-hmm. And in order to do that, we need to be in silence. So for me, silence is very important.
Ironically, it was getting a bit noisy as the room around us was taken apart and set up for another conference session. So Maria Elena and I found a piano in the hallway, and she offered to give me an experience of music therapy on the spot.
You can have an experience if you want of music therapy.
Please.
You can sit here and play, okay. And I play with you.
Okay. I don't know how to play the piano.
Yeah, well, that's what music therapy is all about.
Okay.
You just touch and do whatever you want, and I play with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Wow.
You see? That's called clinical piano improvisation.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are you doing when I'm playing?
I am accompanying you.
And how do you know what to do or what to play?
Well, you have to go to the university. That's why I'm the music therapist. And I'm listening first. I have to listen to how you are playing, what you are playing, and then I just try to resonate with you and put it into a musical frame.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful. You were saying something just as we were leaving about music being like nature.
Oh yes. I think that, like you see, like here if we want to play again, we won't be able to play it again.
No.
Impossible. So we are improvising all the time. I mean, we can have a structure.
Our piano playing had gathered an audience of sorts, some of whom you can hear milling around here in the background.
Just saying that life and nature and music is a reflection of life and nature. Thanks God, otherwise it would be very boring. Can you imagine? Just to listen every day the same thing. However, when it's something very, very beautiful, like the songs of the birds or things like that, you can listen every day, right? Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is that it changes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But it changes all the time. One day it's sunny, one day... So one day you feel like you want to play like this, and another day you want to play more in a minor tone. And that doesn't mean it's bad, it's different. So rain is beautiful and sun is beautiful. But the good thing is that, and you can even be ugly. The good thing is that it changes. And that's what we need to learn, that every day is a new day. And always there are always new opportunities for everything. And that's something that I learned from music, that we should not hold to things, and at the same time we all have new opportunities. Life is always giving us new opportunities through many ways, in many, many, many ways, and we need to be open to the unknown. And that's what music has. It's this unknown. What we did is completely unknown. It's new. But at the same time, this is old. I mean, the piano has so many years. So it's like we need to learn, to combine, and to integrate all our knowledge and create new knowledge from all this knowledge that is going to benefit us and the people who are with us. And so open our minds and connect our neurons, that's what we call musical intelligence that we all have. You see, you never say, I don't play the piano, but the piano is a melodic instrument. It's a melodic percussion instrument. Actually inside, there are little things that are doing. Anyone can play. Another thing is to read music. Then you have to learn to read music. But play, anyone could play. So that's what.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
on, we went for a walk outside around Me University campus where the conference was being held. You can hear the bicycles and students moving past us, and I asked Maria Elena to tell me a bit more about the inspiration behind her work.
Your pain, your past, and all of that, when if you're not strong enough. So first you have to feel strong, and I use music in that way. And then naturally, things will come up. But as I was saying before, life is new all the time. So let's create a new present, which is going to be a better future. Mm-hmm. My present is this present moment we are living right now, experiencing right now. And that's the existentialism, the positive existentialism from Viktor Frankl. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I suggest you strongly to to read his book, Man's Search for Meaning.
Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl has served as a large inspiration behind Maria Elena's approach.
Because one of the problems, I think, is we sometimes tend to think politically, the Obama administration, or yes, there is a whole political thing, there is a whole economic thing, there is all of that. However, there are many things that we can take care of, which is where are our values in our lives, what is important for us, and in our everyday life. And if we Nietzsche said, if there is a will, there is a way. And Viktor Frankl quotes that. And he says that to find meaning in life, which is more important. Also Einstein said that you it's not only that you need meaning to be happy, you need meaning to survive. Yes, we need, and of course working for peace. It's so meaningful. But what he said, that you can find meaning in 3 different ways, in 3 values. One value is what you experience from life, what you receive, whether it's like a friendship, whether it's a sunshine, whether it's a nice music, whatever you receive. Then the other is the creative values, is what you do. Could be a meal, could be your work, could be a piece of art, whatever you do, what you give. And the third one is the attitudinal value. And that is, what do you do with what you cannot change? Because if you can change, you must change it. Otherwise, you are a masochist. Yes, if there is something that is bothering you, and you could change, you have to change. And I think that's why we work for peace, because we think that there are things that we can change. Otherwise, we'll just stay home and watch TV. Yes. So, and the way to find this is also through transcendence, through going out of yourself, and that's when we can find happiness. We are not going to find happiness just I feel good, I'm healthy, I have my economic situation here. That's not going to give you happiness. That will give you a sense of well-being temporarily. I would say even temporarily, because in order to feel happy, you need to get out of your own cocoon, your own niche. You have to get out into the world, to connect with the world. We are in the world, we're not in the moon or the clouds, so we have to have our feet very much on the earth, and we can go out with our minds and come back. But have your vision, of course, and your vision can be as high as you can. But do something with what you're doing.
Do something with what you are doing.
So let me play music that is about peace. Actually, this is very well known in Argentina. It's called, León Gieco was an activist. If you look, León Gieco is an activist. Solo le pido a Dios. You know that one? Que el dolor no me sea indiferente. Que la reseca muerte no me encuentre vacío y solo sin haber hecho lo suficiente. se tiene que marchar a vivir una cultura diferente. Solo le pido a Dios que la guerra no me sea indiferente, que es un monstruo grande, pisa fuerte toda la pobre inocencia de la gente, que es un monstruo grande, pisa fuerte toda la pobre inocencia de la gente. It says, I only ask God that war won't be different to me, because it's a big monster and it steps on top of the innocence of people. And they say, I only ask God that pain won't be different to us. I hope that death doesn't find me alone and empty without having done enough.
Thank you to Maria Elena Lopez Vinader for her work, for her music, and for allowing us to share it. If you would like to find out more about Maria Elena or her organization, Music Therapists for Peace, please visit our website at scar.gmu.edu/CPP, where you can find links to her website and contact information. Thank you for listening.